What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to a live episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, joined on this episode by Tommy.
On this day, I see clearly.
And for the first time, an episodic appearance, the host of the Countdown City Geekcast, and a big help into why this WrestleCast got started. We got Steady.
What up, geeks and geeks? Oh, that's the wrong show. I'm sorry, guys. I've already messed this up.
To be fair, I did heels and baby faces once on the Geekcast, so he's getting me back for that.
You know we're big time now. The boss is here. Man. We've done it now.
That's my Vince impression.
This is the part of the episode where we point our Twitter at @CCG_WrestleCast. It's at the very bottom of the screen. Hey, it's live. What's going to happen this time, right? New for the WrestleCast. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Live chat along with us. I'll let you know what your thoughts are on the Royal Rumble. We're going to kind of go through a quick recap of the evening and give our thoughts on what we liked, what we think is going to happen on the road to WrestleMania. And at the end, give our own WrestleCast ratings. And we'll get to that at the end. So we'll start with the pre-show. The Women's Tag Team Championship on the pre-show. I mean, it was a night where there was a lot on the line. There wasn't going to be any sort of like filler matches. Your thoughts on the match itself and the fact that they put that title match on the pre-show. Tommy, you can go first. Go for
it. Man, I don't know. It was. I get why they did that. It just like.
Why?
It would have been better. It just would have just been better on a Raw. It really would have. It just. I don't know. It just.
Yeah.
To be fair, at least Asuka didn't take the pin, which I was terrified was going to happen whenever they lost. But at least she didn't take the pin. No, again, I can't have to keep saying this. No offense to Charlotte. It's just the booking around Charlotte. That's the problem. But yeah.
Steady, your thoughts on the pre-show match, if you got to see it. I don't know.
It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. I didn't mind it at all. All great wrestlers in their own right. I did catch most of the match. Did not watch it to the end. We were all setting up for the Rumble, so I kind of had things to take care of towards the end of that match. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling, just knowing that, first off, that Nia and Shayna won the titles back, Asuka and Charlotte lose, on the pre-show no less. It's weird to see Charlotte on the pre-show, right?
It is.
But that they're setting up something between them going into Mania. Whether Charlotte was going to win the Rumble later in the night or not, that seems to be the path that they're going, that it's probably going to be Charlotte and Asuka in Tampa in April. So, now, tell me, guys, when was the last time you heard this? The WWE Championship is opening the show.
Last time I heard that, the 90s, I think. Let me just say, this was the most terrifying moment for me this whole night. I was like thinking, oh dear God, no, not Drew, please, no.
I'm trying to recall. I know that WrestleMania, of course, that was main evented by Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. I know Lesnar and Rollins opened the show. I can't remember if it was for WWE or Universal title, though. I think it was WWE, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So there's a trend here where the part-timers that don't want to stick around the whole night get booked first so that they can just go home. So... Steady, your thoughts on Oldberg? Well, thankfully not winning, but being there opening of the show, and it probably even stayed very long. So,
no, I mean, I'm glad it went the way it went. Mm-hmm. I think that probably the time I fell off of the WWE was probably around Goldberg Fiend. I was like, all right, this is crap. I'm out for a while.
I think a lot of people cancel their WWE Network subscriptions around that too. So
I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take a break now. I was with you guys for a while. We had a great WrestleMania, and then
I'm done with the internet for the day. Yeah, that's one of those.
Listen. I don't want to see any of these old guys, these old timers get hurt. So I don't want to see Goldberg in any more matches. I'm glad Taker's done. We all talked about his last match being pre-recorded. It took like hours to record that, by the way, so he has time to, take it easy and not over exert himself. So no more Goldberg, please.
Do you think? Oh, go ahead, Tommy. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that match did give some of the best memes of all time too, with AJ Styles on the tractor. I mean, that's still a meme I use to this day. That's still funny. So
yeah, and the fact that the Good Brothers are dead, but then have magically reappeared in Impact. Only seems to have an impact where people can die and come back.
I was gonna say, to be fair, Impact has killed a lot of people who magically honestly, at this point, the FBI needs to start investigating Impact. Their body count's kind of high.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm wondering now. I mean, yeah, you paid Goldberg this much money, and it wasn't bad. He sold for Drew. I was happy to see that. He didn't no-sell him. Drew becoming one of only 2 wrestlers to kick out of a jackhammer. The only time that's ever happened was Lesnar at Mania, and now Drew McIntyre. Not even The Fiend ever kicked out of that move,
I think that's when my heart stopped, when he hit the jackhammer. I was like, no! And he kicked it. I was like, oh my God, he's going to win this.
Yeah. I don't know how many more matches or years are left on that big contract that Goldberg signed that are potentially the reason for all the budget cuts last year. But I'm wondering if a lot of these guys that are getting old, and Goldberg couldn't go very long. I know he looks pretty beat up, unless he was really selling. But if they start going the cinematic match route as a way to kind of preserve their career in a sense, Ted, you kind of said the same thing when it came to The Undertaker. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I think the worst was when WWE tried to bring back Sting, and you had him go up against Seth Rollins, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And it was just heartbreaking and painful to watch. So I don't want to see any more of that. Like, you want to bring guys to do cameos and whatnot. You want to bring back NWO WrestleMania just to kind of do a bit. And, that's all fun and games, against DX or something. But no more Goldberg, for the love of God. And, let's leave it at that.
And then we'll see how AEW handles Sting, because he is booked in a tag team match at Revolution on March 7th, my birthday. Hey, what do you know? So we'll see how that handles out as well.
I'm real curious. Well, because he's got Darby Allin, who will probably do all the insane stuff, because it's Darby Allin. That's what he wants to do.
SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Really good match. This is one that we didn't get to pick because it was booked this past Friday. Carmella's really doing well with this gimmick. The fancy, everything like that. Lost by submission. I mean, Bayley and Sasha. That's the route it's going, right? That's where we're going with it.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with the law, with who won the Rumble. I'm thinking that I would have agreed with you until the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know, because now I think that all this was a build up to get that match. So I just think now it's just like a matter of time before we find that. I'm thinking that's the Rumble. That was the point of the Rumble, and Sasha retaining that's where we're going now.
All right, Ted, any thoughts on Sasha's win?
I'll watch Sasha do absolutely anything. So fantastic match in my opinion. And I showed a picture to you guys earlier about Sasha going head to head up against the Royal Rumble winner on the women's side. So I'd be excited to see that match. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens.
So Sasha winning, wouldn't you say that is the way?
The whole time I'm like, it's Oscar Reeves.
Yeah. Let's call it. If she's still in the main event or one of the main event title matches at Mania, she's coming out in that outfit on some level.
I just said, some version of it. Please do it, or the hair. Do the hairstyle. Everyone's gonna love it.
Surrounded by other Mandalorians, right?
Damn it! You beat me by 1 second. I was just about to say that. Damn it!
Well, let's get into the Women's Royal Rumble. We've mentioned it here. These Rumble matches actually went pretty quick. Obviously, they don't wait the full 90 seconds before the next person comes out. We knew
60 this time, right?
It was 90. They said 90 for both of them. but it felt like 60 the way these things came out pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know? So, Bailey and Naomi starting it off. A lot of cool moments in here. A lot of surprises. Let's get to the surprise returns. We had Victoria, obviously the biggest one. Very happy. That was one of those never say never things that finally came true. You know?
Yeah. He's still my beating heart. Victoria goes back up.
Let's see. Tommy, you thought Tony Storm or Rhea Ripley were going to show up. Both of them did. So
one of them made it to the final two.
Yeah.
This guy called it.
Let's see here. Who are the surprises we had here? Tori Wilson.
Tori Wilson. Yeah.
Tori Wilson. Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox, dude.
Let's talk about Alicia Fox.
and during the match, she is now officially the first person to win a championship during the Royal Rumble. I don't care what anyone says from this day forward. Alicia Fox is one of the goats.
Oh my
God! If you don't agree with that, you're lying to yourself. She's one of the goats. She's one of the greatest of all time. How dare you not put some respect on her name?
The first to ever win and lose a title during the Royal Rumble.
That's true.
Hey, doesn't matter. She's still going.
Oh shoot! You guys froze a second. Come on, don't lose this connection. No. You guys there? All right.
Still here.
For a second. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. That was a really hilarious sequence where R-Truth runs down and says, "Oh, wrong match," and gets in the ring.
And who else but R-Truth and Fox could have pulled that off amazingly?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If there was a live crowd, they'd have lost their collective shit if that happened, in a live crowd.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ted, you lost video there. You kind of froze on us.
Still see you guys. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your video froze. I don't know if you just want to turn your camera off and then back on. You should be good.
Hey, try turning it off and then on again.
Yeah, that usually works. So there we go.
Have you unplugged it? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, tech. It happens. Live show, right?
This technology.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, Alicia Fox wins it, ends up losing it. And then, of course, later on the night, Peter Rosenberg now is going to be bragging on New York radio tomorrow morning that he's the current 24/7 champion.
I hope R-Truth shows up on at wherever he is and pins him on the radio and just runs out of.
Rosenberg has his podcast. I would love for him to be pinned on his own podcast. Just that's the title actually changed. So
that's probably where it's headed. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to the Cheap Heat podcast, see if that happens. Right. Let's as far as the Women's Rumble, like I said, they went pretty quick. A few hilarious moments. Billie Kay offering her resume to just about everybody that came down until Jillian Hall said, "Sure, let's do this." A potential iconic reunion that they kind of teased it and it just went away, and that sucked.
Yeah.
But Bianca Belair entering at number 3 and winning the whole thing.
Took me all the way to the victory.
Ted, your thoughts on it and the winner? What did you like about it?
She's extremely athletic, and I remember seeing her probably early on coming into the WWE, and I think she's really solidified herself as a strong competitor, and I think she's put in enough time now, and people are clearly on social media going along with this. So I think it's fantastic she won. She really gave it her all. I want to point something out. We had a final 3 that included Ripley, Bianca, and Charlotte. In what universe did you imagine Charlotte was not going to be in that final 2?
The universe I was personally creating, that was what's going to happen. So
I agree with you. But I think the fact that you had such a big name like Charlotte go out so that these two can have their moment, and it was an incredible final 2 battle back and forth. Yeah. All the reversals, everything, absolutely loved it. They put on a great show. It was fantastic. I put it on Twitter, best women's Royal Rumble ever, and I don't think it'll be top for quite a while.
No, and I think part of going into this Rumble, and we said it on the show too last week, there was really no clear front runner for this. I know Vegas had Bianca Belair 9-2 odds at the best odds, at least one casino did, to win it. But the way this was booked, there wasn't really a favorite from the storyline wise. There was a lot of potential. I think 3 of us picked Alexa Bliss to win, and that she came in late, like she's got a good chance, and then they eliminated her before the whole demon change, which is great for Rhea Ripley's part, by the way. And shout out Burnsy116 says, I love JBL's face when Peter Rosenberg won the 24/7 title. JBL was in shock. That's true. But Bianca Belair, this is pretty cool. I mean, she's still young in the business. She's a natural athlete. I mean, even the spot where she and Naomi had to get back in the ring without their feet hitting the floor.
That moment is probably going to be replayed for years to come. And they were hitting each other like, wait, stop. Okay,
let's get back in.
Okay, you ready? All right, let's swing up. All right, here we go. And somewhere backstage, Kofi Kingston was looking on like a proud father. Just
yeah, he was totally.
My kids. I'm so proud.
I wonder if Kofi was back to like, man, I can't do that. You know, I mean, is there something someone's gonna have to do? Like, I can't do that. You know.
He's like, man, they just don't skip leg day like at all. Ever. Like I can't do that. I just can't do that. Oh well, I tried.
Now going towards WrestleMania, where are y'all thinking Bianca takes her title shot? The current champions, of course, are Bayley, SmackDown, Asuka, Raw. There's a potential one or both could lose their titles on the road. We have Elimination Chamber next month, Fastlane in March, which will be the first one on the Peacock Network. Where are you guys thinking these main events end up on the women's side? Tom, I'll start with you.
I personally think it's going to be Sasha and Bianca. Personally, I when Sasha won it, like you guys, I was also thinking, okay, maybe Sasha and Bayley's still the plan. But when Bianca won the Rumble, I was like, to me, that's money right there. I mean, Sasha and Bianca Belair. I mean, I can't think of a more high profile match that I think would get the fans watching. You know, honestly, look, I'm speaking from the standpoint of an African American. Representation still matters, and that kind of match. I take that back. Regardless of who Bianca picks, I think this is going to be just good for the company. Period. Her winning. But honestly, I think that's what you go with because, for one, Bianca Belair has had all this hype going for her since she debuted. Mm-hmm. And then you have Sasha with the hype of being in one of the hottest shows ever. Not even just last year, but just ever, The Mandalorian. Ever. I mean,
ever.
I can't think of a show that has had this much talk in like the past 10 years than The Mandalorian. And she got a pretty significant role in it. Mm-hmm. So you have essentially a Star Wars character against a super athletic woman, and they're both black. Yeah, somebody's ordering WrestleMania. So WrestleMania in the hood could be lit. So
if that's your side of it, who do you think challenges Asuka then?
For Asuka, I think you're gonna see either Charlotte go after her again, or someone else step up. Maybe for Asuka, it's gonna be either Charlotte to me, Rhea Ripley, or Alexa Bliss, because I see Rhea Ripley going to Raw. Really.
Okay.
And honestly, I see Bliss kind of taunting Rhea Ripley a bit because she eliminated her. Okay. So having that demon on her back for a while, and of course Rhea Ripley's no stranger to running from demons. I mean, she fought Raquel Gonzalez in that last woman standing match, and that was fantastic. So I don't think she cares much. So that's kind of like my prediction. I don't know if they'll carry the Charlotte Lacey Evans thing all the way to WrestleMania. They could, but WrestleMania and Charlotte's on the title match, Vince might actually have some kind of episode where he like freaks out for a minute.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're watching this live, let us know your thoughts. Who you think the women's matches are going to be come WrestleMania as far as the main events go. Steady, are you on the same thinking as Tommy, or do you think you'll see something different for the women come Mania time?
I also think that it's going to be Bianca and Sasha at WrestleMania. You have to break down these barriers. Doing a first match of this kind at this level on this stage, you have to do it if the opportunity is there. And it's not to shoehorn this type of thing in there, but you have two well-deserved female wrestlers who can entertain the hell out of a crowd at WrestleMania. So I think if the opportunity is there, you must do it. It's you. They're begging you to do it. And as far as who would go up against Asuka, you took mine, Tommy, because it was very interesting that Alexa Bliss had absolutely nothing to do in this Royal Rumble, and yet they tried to tease something bigger. So don't wait. You're probably not wasting our time with that. I think you probably start putting in a story together where you start accelerating this transformation of hers. And if it's going to be Sasha and Bianca on one side, then Alexa will go for the other belt. And hopefully this transformation thing will start getting accelerated and start being interesting. Why put in this little tease of her transformation, like just to get thrown out? It's peculiar. It's a head scratcher. JC is disappointed as hell. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Fucking Ray Ripley.
It's the only thing I'm thinking about. Why go through all the trouble to not actually use her for something else like that?
Yeah, I'm on the same thinking as far as Sasha and Bianca, but I'll do you one better. Bayley's going to find a way to sneak into that match as well and make it a triple threat. We got 2 pay-per-views along the way, and if Sasha keeps through the chamber, I think we're good to go. I don't think Asuka is going to be the title holder going into Mania. And I think where that potentially can change is Fastlane. And the fact that Fastlane is the first show that's going to be on the Peacock Network, Vince is going to want to do something huge. And I think at that level, it's going to be Charlotte beating Asuka at Fastlane. They're going to set something up there. Whether the winner of they're going to have a chamber match to decide the number 1 contender for that title. And that's where I think you could have Alexa Bliss win, or possibly Rhea Ripley, and you set up the rematch at Mania where Ripley finally beats Charlotte, this time for a Raw title. Because last year you had Charlotte try and go down and take that from her. Obviously, they did that to try and pull ratings from AEW. It didn't work very well. So I think you kind of want that. You want Ripley to invade Charlotte's world and return the favor this year. And that's kind of what my mindset is thinking.
Putting the same 2 wrestling shows on the same night was a bad idea, but whatever.
Exactly. So, and there's going to be a lot of pieces to fall in place. It's a 2-night Mania again. 2 nights. This time there's going to have a crowd there as well in Tampa at Raymond James.
Where have I heard that before? 2 nights of a major promotions, major wrestling show. Gee, it's almost like New Japan did that exact same idea a year ago. Literally 3 months before WrestleMania. Okay, sorry, I'm still on that train.
And we'll see how the NFL handles a big event, because the Super Bowl is going to be in that same stadium next week, a week from tonight. 22,000 fans, 7,500 of which are going to be free entry because they're first responders that are fully vaccinated. So, how they handle the crowd there? Yeah, the NFL is doing something really cool. So, and I think Vince is taking notes on how to handle that. But the big challenge is going to be you're going to have to do that 2 nights in a row. So. Obviously, there might be a cinematic match or 2 squeezed in there. So now, congrats to Bianca Belair, well deserved. Our career's been pretty chronicled heavily since she debuted. But then we got a last man standing match that was just insane because these guys had to follow that moment, and Reigns and Owens didn't spend a whole lot of time in the ring.
No.
Steady. No. Your thoughts on this last man standing match, and were you anticipating the Miz to cash in on some point?
I enjoyed most of it thoroughly. We were all cracking jokes and trying to figure out where the hell is this going. Full setup ring backstage, by the way. That was peculiar, but you need.
They've shown it before on TV, though. That's the thing. They have shown it before on TV.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did not like the ending. I thought everything else, even though kind of expected it to go certain ways, Roman taking out the ref during the near count out. I thought it was genius. Kind of cheesy, but I think that's the right call. When you're writing something out like that, that's the way to go. But then don't like the way it sort of ended. Sort of all the good stuff was already gone. All in all, enjoyed it. I didn't think it was fantastic. Just kind of entertaining. That's all.
Yeah, it was brutal, and for all that brutality, I'm kind of with you on the ending. It just kind of ended abruptly.
Yeah,
I mean,
a little lackluster at the end.
Yeah, the swan dive off the forklift was insane.
Swanton, yeah,
the swanton off of that. And even then, the handcuffs turning it around on him and the ref, that was smart. But man, Roman just got beat up to shit this whole night, this whole match. But he gets one move on Kevin Owens. That's it, and that's classic WWE heel booking. That's just kind of how they do things. So,
yeah.
What did you expect to see? Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but yeah, I liked it. And like this, the ending was the only thing that bugged me about the ending was the whole handcuffs thing. Really, I can't get mad at the front chancery sleeper only because I remember when Jimmy Jacobs was doing that in Ring of Honor so much as his new finisher, and I can't be a hypocrite and loved it when he did it and then hate it when Roman does it. So I gotta be consistent. So I get it when else likes it. I have to like it because I gotta be fair. So, but the handcuffs things will kind of throw it off for me. However, I do have one tiny bone to pick. As much as I love the spot with the golf cart, they kind of got to admit they kind of ripped off AEW that a little bit. I mean, yes. Sammy never went fully through the window of the cart, and actually the reason I brought this up is because a friend of mine reminded me of this when he was texting me, and I was like, I don't want to knock it the whole way because it looked really brutal and it was a good spot. And I was like, okay, guys, just be honest and admit you stole that one. Come on, it's okay. It's okay. It was great. Admit you took that from somebody else. You copied the other guy's homework and you changed it up a little bit to where almost no one noticed. But other than that, I loved it. Other than that, because like the gripes for me are so minor that I can still thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean,
because like
any other night,
like you said,
any other night, this
way worse.
Yeah, any other night, this is actually a really good last man standing match. You just got overshadowed by everything else happening. You know.
You know what it is. You know what's also bad about this. What had working against it was a last man standing match for the belt at the Royal Rumble, and JC, you and I were there live when John Cena and Umaga did that, and oh my God, I still remember that night. So
that was a fun match. Yeah.
I shared a tweet because someone this guy named Mark on Twitter, he shared a tweet that says that match is underrated and Umaga does not get enough credit for all the work he put in. And I was like, dude, absolutely a fact. That match was great, and Umaga does not get talked about enough as far as big man wrestlers go, who put in a lot of good work.
And especially when you compare that to the other title match that same night was Kennedy versus Batista, I believe. I think it was Batista. I don't remember, but you know, people kind of turned on that match and started cheering for Kennedy because he was trying to keep that match alive. But that last man standing Cena Umaga that we were at in Royal Rumble 2007.
2007, yeah.
Yeah, which was had the AT&T Center going. You know, we were crazy.
Yeah,
we're still crazy, right? So.
Yeah.
Now men's Royal Rumble, they announced it early, pretty much the end of last week. Orton 1, Edge 2. That was the thing going in. Tina and Mike both said Christian would be a surprise appearance. He showed up. There it was. Both super excited. Yep. If you go back and watch our reaction video, you can see the excitement around that.
It was really cool to see him walk out. It was like, and again, he looked great shape. Him, Edge, and Braun Strowman were all at the same gym because their abs were ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Carlito, though. Speaking of abs that look ridiculous.
Bam!
Very happy to see him back, yeah. Now, they kind of did the spot, the whole injury angle, really played it up. Orton's gone, shows up at the very end, still gets eliminated. I mean, we all thought it seemed to be like Orton was going to win there, so.
Yeah, that was the second moment my heart stopped in the entire night. Like, no! Okay, good.
Yeah. Steady, your thoughts on the men's Royal Rumble. What did you enjoy about it?
Well, my first thought was I picked Edge to win the Royal Rumble
Mm-hmm.
on Monday. I have the text messages to prove it.
He did. I didn't mention on
And
the show. My bad. So
it's all good. I forgive you, sir. I forgive you. My whole thought process was it's been a year since Edge made his incredible, epic comeback, right?
mm-hmm.
And
Which we all lost
an entire arc, an entire character's arc, kind of starts and ends in roughly about a year's time, give or take, right?
Right.
An actual solid one. They drag these things out way too long. So about a year's, let's say the average or so. And I figured, okay, Edge came back, his arc or whatever his beef he had with Orton is going to take up most of the year, and this is his time to actually get that title run. This is a great opportunistic time for WWE to say, all right, you did your thing, the fans loved it, let's go ahead and push him to the forefront. And I don't know which title he's going to go for. I think that Drew's had the title too long, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
So he might go for Drew's title.
Well, we all know why Wild disagree, but whatever.
You know what? You know what it is? It's unfortunate because Drew won the title at the worst possible time to be the face of the company.
Yes.
When there's no fans, there's nobody there to enjoy and root for you. There's a bit of an improvement on that with the 100 or so digital screens they have. Overall, the Rumble was fantastic, very entertaining. The surprises were good. The people you didn't want to win it, the Rollins of the world, the Ortons of the world, they didn't come
King
out with
Corbin's
it. So
of the world, definitely not.
I'm okay with seeing Corbin because you need one guy to like absolutely hate, and Corbin
he's good at his job.
fits.
He's fantastic at his job.
He's doing it great. I rather have somebody in the Rumble that I really hate, or somebody who's got a lot of airtime that I really hate, as opposed to someone who's a waste of time like Sami Zayn. Why is Sami Zayn on this network still? Why is he doing anything in the WWE? I don't have no idea. Anyways, really liked it. Loved the Royal Rumble from start to finish. Really happy Edge won. It's finally his time. I think he's gonna eventually win the title very soon, or definitely at WrestleMania.
This is definitely going to be a last ride for him. I think one last run at it, and
Yeah.
it's surprising considering why he had to retire in the first place. The extent of his injuries were damn near brutal to the point if he took a bump, they said if he took anything once, it could kill him.
Yes.
But DDP Yoga, man, Diamond Dallas Page saving lives out there, saving wrestling careers. That's really what it came down to.
Hey,
and
doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we continue, I saw, I think it was on Twitter or Instagram that Darby Allin was hanging out with him. I was like, is Darby Allin doing DDP Yoga? That dude's gonna wrestle till he is 90 years old. It's like,
oh, yeah.
So fine, he can keep doing it. It's like every coffin drop he does now just got negated. He's doing DDP Yoga.
You don't do half of the shit that Darby Allin does when he wrestles and not do DDP Yoga to recover. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you said, Ted, DDP out here doing the Lord's work, just
yeah.
He said he got a call and he said, "Okay, God, I got this." He's like, "All right, man, you go do this thing right now."
Kane, by the way,
Edge is the Tom Brady of WWE. You don't know how he's doing it at this age, but he's doing it. So
you say that, and appropriately, it's in Tampa too, right? You say that though, but Kane made his 18th appearance, and I feel like he's just going to show up for about a minute or two every Rumble just to keep that streak going and make sure he's the top name out there.
Definitely,
record
I can see that
appearance now, and he entered at number 18 appropriately too.
Yeah,
so, there you go.
I hope next year he enters at 19. I really do. I just hope we just keep
all the way to 30, and then that's it. He stops at 30. That's it.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a way to get people. And then next year it's a 40-man Rumble again, and he just keeps adding to it. Now Edge winning, where does this lead? Ted, what are you thinking? Who's challenging Roman Reigns and who's challenging Drew McIntyre going into Mania?
I don't know exactly. All I know is whoever they're gonna put up against Edge, I think is gonna take it. I this this Roman and Owens thing, I feel like it's not done, right? It's not over with. Roman seems to get the upper hand so often that I feel like they're gonna continue with it. Uh, Edge might go for McIntyre, and I already said, I think McIntyre's been the title holder for quite a long time. It's unfortunate. It was during the worst year of WWE as far as fan experience is concerned, but it's got to go on. Got to move on.
Yeah, Tommy, you wanted to say something? Go for it.
I was gonna say, as far as the Roman Owens thing, I think this might be the end of the issue. Only reason I say is because this is the first time that they did this where it didn't have Uso involvement. So I think that's when the issue might be settled.
Yeah.
Also, because I even though he didn't win the Rumble, I picked him. Damn it. I still think Nakamura is next in line. Because of how they built that up. Now, as far as what's going to happen at Mania, I still think it's going to be Edge and Drew. Part of me thinks that they might have him win just for having him have that feel good story one last time, and then not have it too long. Maybe SummerSlam if that long. I'm not even going to say it's going to be that far ahead, but I think they might let have it to have that one less. Because again, technically, when he lost the world when he retired, he didn't lose the world title. He had to forfeit because of his injuries. So even when he lost the title, he didn't even lose it. He just had to surrender it. So, and that's my thing. As far as where we go WrestleMania wise, Roman's had it this long. I absolutely can't see it losing him losing it before WrestleMania. And even then, I hope it's at WrestleMania, and I hope it's to Nakamura, because that would just be justice for me, considering how they did Nakamura on the road to WrestleMania, when he won the Rumble, all that good stuff, and just pull the trigger and let the man win the belt.
Where does Miz though fit into your whole blueprint?
I don't care. I have to care, don't I?
Yeah,
I
kind of do.
Okay, honestly, if Nakamura or Edge wins at WrestleMania and Miz cashes in, that won't be so bad to me, because he's the ultimate heel. Well, unless you're talking about Baron Corbin, who I just hate legitimately. No kidding. I'm just kidding. I took that back. But it's like when Miz is on his heel runs, he's one of the best at it. He really is. I will never not say that about the Miz. You want someone who can get the fans to be immediately pissed? Give the Miz a spot on TV, because that guy's the best at it. Yeah. So whenever he catches in, I think it's going to be on someone who everyone loves, probably maybe Edge, maybe Nakamura, or whoever, and he'll get it done that way. So
yeah, I like the Edge going at McIntyre idea. God, you never know what's going to happen, really. Chamber, Fastlane, who knows? And I wouldn't be surprised if whatever title Edge goes for, he wins at Mania, but immediately loses on a cash-in to Miz. And it'd be poetic, because Edge was the first to cash in a title contract, and he was very opportunistic about it. Cena was all beat to hell, cashed it in at New Year's Revolution, and took the title. And that kind of started the trend on how people cash in these Money in the Bank contracts. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Miz did it to Edge. It'd be appropriate, So,
yeah, my other favorite cash-in of Edge was when Undertaker just wrestled Batista in a cage match. Mark Henry came out and beat up Undertaker, and then Edge cashed in anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as far as Drew McIntyre, I agree. We've said it on the show many times. Drew winning was well deserved. It was just at the worst possible time, in the middle of a pandemic, no fans in attendance. What can you do, right?
Yeah.
On the Roman side of things, I'm a little skeptical. I don't want to see it. It's been rumored for so long. I don't want to see it with a title on the line. Is Roman versus The Rock? Because
I've heard that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
There's rumored of that. But if you're going to do that match and there's no title on the line, great. That's fine with me. But if you bring in The Rock to try and teach Roman a lesson, and Roman goes over because he kind of has to in this scenario, who's going to be Roman at that point?
Yeah.
You went so far as to bring in one of the biggest Hollywood superstars and a former WWE superstar in to try and beat his cousin or however they're related, and it doesn't work out. So then who do you put over Roman at that point? You know,
Enter Goldberg for another time.
Shut your mouth. No,
I was gonna say they medically clear Stone Cold for one more match.
No, Vince is gonna have to put Godzilla or King Kong, whoever wins that matchup in March, right? That's really what it's gonna come down to. You know?
So wait.
You have a Godzilla. His name is Braun Strowman.
Well, yeah, that could potentially work.
Yeah.
So
Who's in great shape, by the way. We saw at the Rumble.
Yeah,
ahead, Tommy.
So wait, is Godzilla and Kong just a number one contenders match
Yes.
to face Roman?
March 31st, we'll find out who's facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania between Godzilla and Kong. And if Mecha Godzilla ends up winning that whole thing, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus a robot. That's basically what it is. So, you know.
Done.
Yeah.
I get an idea for the tagline of Godzilla versus Kong.
It'll be a battle of the Gulf of Mexico at that point, too, because Tampa's right there. So, as far as Drew, I could see Edge challenging for the Raw title. I know that WWE, or Vince especially, loves the Edge versus Randy Orton rivalry. So it wouldn't surprise me if Randy Orton sneaks his way in there or possibly takes the title off Drew McIntyre by then.
Oh, no, man. That's
I know.
so... God, I'm so
I know.
tired of this
I agree.
already.
But it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. I want to see
You
Drew
know
go
what?
in there, Bo, but, you know.
I wasn't as mad at that feud until they had the greatest match ever thing. I was like, oh.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard my rant about that, Ted, because I got so mad at that because I have a list of greatest matches ever. And as much as I love those two, that doesn't make it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Steady, stop and start your camera again. You froze on us. So it's all good. All right. Well, this is the point of the show. Cool. Let's get to our pick results on the evening. Let me pull it up here. Myself and Tina each went 1-4. Mike and Tommy went 2-3, and Ted went 1-0 because he only picked the Rumble and he got that right on the men's Rumble. So,
and I'm retiring now from the WrestleCast.
I knew
undefeated.
I knew it.
100%. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And it was a Rumble call, too.
It was a
wasn't
Rumble
like a
call.
title
It
match
really
or anything.
was.
I called the Rumble.
Which is the hardest to pick.
Honestly, I went 2-3. I thought I went like 0 and something. I didn't know I got two right.
No, you had Roman correct, winning his match, and what am I notes? Here we go.
They have Drew. They have Drew winning.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, we all had Drew winning. Drew winning was the only one I got right. Tina and I got right the whole night. Asuka and Charlotte we got wrong, and then
that's the one we picked. I couldn't remember what the other one we picked. So.
Obviously, none of our picks panned out. Mike, it's late for him as a teacher, but part of that is that Cesaro didn't even make the Final Four, so he's pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
That's why, you know.
Yeah, late for me.
And I kind of agree with them, you know. You want Nakamura in the title picture, I want Cesaro. And part of me really hopes Cesaro on some level gets in the title picture. And maybe he'll be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns going into Mania.
Or maybe, you know what, maybe they just run out their contracts. They both go to New Japan and join the United Empire. Nakamura betrays Chaos and joins the United Empire. Yeah. Which would be the greatest thing I've ever seen if that actually did happen. So, anyway.
I mean, honestly, if things don't work out for Cesaro this year, New Japan is probably the good place to go. So, all right, on to the part of our show we give our WrestleCast ratings 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. If you are watching along with us and live chatting, you can let us know what your rating is on the show. Use however many decimal places you can between 0 and 5. Let us know your thoughts on the entire Royal Rumble. I'll start with Mike. Mike gave it a 4.5. I'm sure the 0.5 is the fact that Cesaro did not win, or Bayley did not win the Royal Rumble. He was pretty upset about that.
If Cesaro had won this, he'd have given this a 7, and he would have.
He would have Dave Meltzer that shit. Tina gave it a 4.75. For one, partially just for the fact that she got to sit down and actually watch Rumble. It's a stressful time for teachers, but we watched it live chatting here, and she really enjoyed that because this is the first time we've had a Rumble party, or we wouldn't really have a party because we've always used to having people over and doing the whole number draw thing, and which I won this year, by the way, when we don't have money on the line, damn it. But you know, She
I
enjoyed
pushed
that.
for it.
I know.
I pushed for it.
It's too late. I got to do squares for the Super Bowl anyway.
I'll buy you some beer,
No.
some gluten-free beer, sir.
Make sure it's gluten free. Yeah.
I will.
4.75 from Tina. 4.5 from Mike. I'm giving this a 4.75. Top to bottom, this was a lot of fun of a show, even with Olberg being on it. He didn't overshadow it. It's like they got that match out of the way, and they did a great job with it. I think
it did feel like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like they just got that match out of the way. Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of crazy frills with the Rumble matches. This is definitely probably the best women's Royal Rumble match ever. Good surprises
At
all
Victoria.
around. At Victoria,
that's the
yeah. You know, who should have been in the first one, but she got there. So, Tommy, what is your rating for this show?
Because you know what, I was gonna give it 4.5, but I will also go 4.75. It was a very, very good show, near perfection.
Uh-huh.
I do like the fact that they had the Goldberg match out of the way. I mean, not again. I just like the person. No offense against him. Just they got that done. I think really the one that hampered it now for me might have been the Last Man Standing match, just because it had a few nicks here and there. And because Cesaro got eliminated so early, I wanted him and Nakamura to last longer. I'm a little disappointed in that too. So yeah.
Yeah, they made Cesaro part of the whole Strowman clearing the ring thing, which is kind of, nothing against Strowman. It was just something better. Ted, your first WrestleCast rating here, 0 to 5. What do you got?
Yeah, 4.5, 4.5.
All right.
You had the best women's Rumble ever. You had probably one of the top 5 men's Rumbles ever, I'd say. Making the winner Edge is phenomenal. It's a great story that he's continuing on. So kudos to the WWE for doing that. Just, Goldberg, including him in all this, is still a misstep. You really need to stop with that guy. They lose they lose a quarter of a point for that, and another quarter of a point just for some of these other matches, the way they ended. But that's it. 4.5. Still a great overall event. But yeah, let's move on from Goldberg, please.
All right. If Goldberg's going to be a Mania, I hope it's against Riddle, because they've been talking so much shit for so many years. I just want to see that.
God.
Yeah, so, no, if it's Riddle, I'll watch that. Overall
It'll last
rating,
1 minute.
We hope, right? Overall rating 4.65. Not too shabby for a Rumble. This being WWE's first pay-per-view of the year. And it was a lot of fun as always. So, now we're going to get into a segment of the show we call the 1 minute warning. And if you're new to watching this, this is a chance where we each have a minute to kind of talk about whatever wrestling related. We'll start with Tommy this time. It's usually New Japan related. Am I on the same line here today, Tommy? Yep, thought so.
Yep.
All right, Tommy.
Yep.
Your minute starts right now.
Okay, well, technically yesterday, however that works, the 30th of January, New Japan hosted the New Beginning in Niaga, and we talked about the loser can't use the Mongolian chop anymore. Well, Great Okan defeated Hiroshi Tenzan, so Tenzan can't use the Mongolian chop anymore, and I feel like we're living in a world I don't want to live in, where Tenzan can't use the Mongolian chop. I actually feel quite devastated by this. That hurt me in ways I can't explain. But this is going to interest you, JC. Hiroshi Tanahashi beat Shingo Takagi and won the Never Openweight Championship.
Nice.
And apparently, and from what I read, the match went 35 plus minutes. And and this is the first time Tanahashi's ever won that belt. But Okan, feeling himself after beating Tenzan, stepped up and challenged Tanahashi next. So I'm looking forward to that. I got to go back and watch the match itself, but it was a really good one. So yeah, big news coming out of Japan next.
Surprised you did not mention Kenta versus Moxley.
I was going to, but I ran out of time. So, but since you did bring it up,
all right.
Oh my God!
Make it quick. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, so on another show. Yeah. Ted, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you got a minute. Ready, set, go.
I'm a nostalgia kind of guy, so I'm going to reference one of the favorite matches of my all-time favorite wrestler, Bret Hitman Hart. July 11th, 1994 was a match between him and a very young, not so well known guy named, well, his character was named the 123 Kid. For some reason, I'm on my Twitter feed, and this match is popping up amongst wrestling Twitter, and I'm going through all the comments, and I didn't realize there was this many people that held that match up to the pedestal that I did. So it was wonderful chatting with other people about it, talking about how great it was for Bret Hart to put 123 Kid over, even though 123 Kid lost. But still fantastic that Bret made a star out of him that day and after that match. Wonderful time revisiting that match.
The magic of social media, where more people connect on you in some ways that you don't realize.
There you go.
Like that, so
social media can be used for good sometimes.
Yes, especially when you don't use politics, right? Bernsey says, "I think Thomas needs a hug." Tommy, referring to you.
Maybe. The Tenzon thing, man. I don't know how to feel, dude. This is not the world I wanted to live in anymore. So Liger's retired. Tenzon can't use the Mongolian chop.
But Bianca Belair run the Rumble.
Sorry, I had to set him off. What do you expect? It's his name. So
betrayal. I'm not okay. That was almost a year ago when that happened.
I know. As for me, I'm just overall, I'm just happy with how this Rumble turned out. We've been wondering how they were going to build up a road to WrestleMania in what we've appropriately dubbed the quarantine era. We had the Attitude Era, we had the PG era. This is the quarantine era until we're officially all out of this. But it's what the biggest challenge I think WWE is going to face, and I'm not sure that they can pull this off, is you're going to be building all this up in shows with no crowd. You're going to have a Thunderdome where you get people in there that are like hardcore WWE, a little more of the casual fan. But how many fans you're going to book for WrestleMania? And we know that WrestleMania and events like that are where the really hardcore wrestling fans show up and are very vocal. So this is going to be the challenge for WWE. You have to put together a huge card that everyone's going to love and everyone's going to appreciate. And I'm afraid if they don't do that, the two-night WrestleMania, the first show back with a live audience and the first WrestleMania on Peacock Network, may not have the crowd reaction that they want. So, good luck WWE. This is going to be the biggest challenge you face through this whole era, is trying to get that together.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. This was fun to do a live recap. Obviously, we couldn't do our normal Tuesday recording and then Wednesday episode is up because I have a family issue I need to take care of this week. But I'm liking the live format. There's a chance come WrestleMania time we may be doing a live show, so keep that in mind as we go forward. Next week on the WrestleCast, we are going to be talking about NXT TakeOver. They're getting their own show on their own weekend on a Sunday, and we'll also be breaking down Pro Wrestling Illustrated's year-end awards for 2020. That magazine came out. Congrats, Orange Cassidy, on one of the greatest covers, holding his award upside down in any way Orange Cassidy could do it.
Also wearing his shirt with his face on.
Exactly. Show your own merch. Exactly. So
there you go.
We'll be talking about all that next week. We'll preview TakeOver and talk about the awards and ramp up because pay-per-views are coming fast and furious at this point. So there's only 2 more pay-per-views left on WWE Network in the United States as it is before it moves to Peacock. So. And as always, follow along the conversation, CCG_WrestleCast at the bottom of your screen here. Let us know your thoughts on everything here. If you didn't catch us live, we'd love to hear from you. So thank you, everyone. Valentine's Day NXT. Yes, actually, it is a Valentine's Day NXT show. That's right, Burns. You're very correct.
Oh, it is.
Yep. So if your girlfriend doesn't watch or wife doesn't watch wrestling, you really got to butter her up to maybe get her to make it a romantic date, So good luck with that. Yeah. Luckily, I'm married one that loves wrestling, right? So thank you, everyone, for joining. Special guest, Steady from the Countdown City Geekcast. We appreciate you coming on. Thanks for joining us here.
Wouldn't have missed it. Yeah. And tomorrow, if you want to join the Geekcast for their live show, go to the Countdown to the Geekcast on Facebook. We're going to be talking all about the insane episode 4 of WandaVision, and I got a lot to say about this man over here. Batfleck because we now have a release date for Zack Snyder's Justice League, aka the Snyder Cut. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Over here we got, I don't know, maybe Tommy might want to be on that show with you. You can talk to him about that.
I was just thinking about that actually.
Yeah. I'm not able to join tomorrow, but maybe Tommy will be able to join for that.
As soon as you said that, I was like, what am I doing tomorrow? I have some time tomorrow, actually.
The invitation is extended, Tommy. You're
Yeah.
always welcome.
I'll message you tomorrow and see where I'm at with everything I got to do. So we'll see.
To also butter you up a little bit more, we're also talking Cloverfield tomorrow. I have an extensive discussion around Cloverfield.
Tommy's so
we are
catch Tommy on the Geekcast tomorrow. On Facebook.
Because when you said excited for it, I was like, "There's another Cloverfield fan out there besides me." But I was the only one.
Come down the rabbit hole, Tommy. There's a lot of us, sir.
All right. Well, there's Steady. Over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
Fake.
We'll see y'all.
Later, guys.
Peace.